Welcome to another episode of Where's Woody? I'm Woody and I've made the way all the way down to Canvey Island Rugby Club to interview three very giggly girls. We're going to see how we're going on. It might be a case that we might just have 20 minutes of laughter. If we do, that's great because it saves me talking. But hopefully we get some talking as well and we find out more about the rugby club and who they are. So, who do we have here? We have
Lily.
Lily.
I'm Eleanor. Millie.
What age groups are you?
Under 14.
Under 14s?
Under 16.
Under 16s.
I played under 16s last year. I'm going under 18s this year.
Okay, so we've got one from each age group, which is fantastic. So you played under 16s last year. So how long have you been playing for?
I played rugby when in primary school, then I stopped for a bit, and then I played again in year 9.
Why'd you stop?
Because there wasn't a girls' team at the club I went to, and then I never really got the ball or anything, or play properly because I was in a boys' team. So
we had a young girl come play for a team that I coached, and she was a very capable rugby player, really good rugby player. The first game I saw her play in, she came off and she hadn't scored a try, but she was over the moon because she was past the ball, which I thought was hilarious. So trust me, you're not the only one that suffers from not being past the ball when you play mixed rugby, because it's something that unfortunately happens quite a lot. So what about you? How long have you been playing for?
2 years, but I had the last season off.
Did you have last season off? Did you go anywhere nice? Did you go off to Florida or anything for a year? Or
broke my hand.
You broke? Oh my goodness me! Hopefully not playing rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, playing rugby. Okay, not a problem. So what happened?
Oh, I caught my hand underneath me in a ruck, and I had a girl on top of me as well, and literally that snapped and all that snapped.
So when you said you broke your hand, you were being literal. You broke your hand. Nobody else did it.
No.
You man. Okay.
No, I fell on it.
You fell on it. Okay. So it wasn't like a big tack or anything. You just fell on your hand and broke it.
I had the ball like that, and this girl, before I went down, she just jumped on me, and I put my hand out, and my hand went funny.
So that's something to learn. When your coaches tell you when you're tackled not to put your hand out, that's why, okay? We don't say it because we're mean. That is why you don't put your hand down, because it hurts. Okay, what about yourself?
I think in December I've been playing for about 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're under 14, so you must have played mixed rugby then?
Yeah.
What was that like? What was your experience?
Same as Lily, they didn't play properly with me. Didn't really get the ball much.
No.
I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to play with them anymore.
It doesn't sound a very enthusiastic experience playing with boys. So why did you why are you still playing now?
I know I was going into the girls' season next year, so I had an idea that it was going to be a lot better, and it was, because I have a lot more friendships now. And obviously, my uncle's coach, and he was like, "Oh God." So I'm like getting forced.
No pressure, no pressure. What about yourself? Why have you continued and stayed with rugby?
Because I actually like the sport, and then in training it was good and everything, and then when I was a girls' team here, I just played when it started.
You say that you like the sport. Why? What is it that you enjoy? What is it that makes this fun for you?
Well, I had a few friends in my old team when I played for Bentley, and then I made my friend Gemma, and then she ended up joining Canvey the year after that I joined as well. So we were reunited again, I guess.
So do you find friendship is a big thing with girls rugby, or do you mean is that the big sort of thing that keeps you and sort of brings you into rugby?
Yeah, because there's not really drama as well. Like when you go to school, and I think because you don't see the girls a lot, you see them twice a week, you're not always constantly together. So it's nice seeing, oh look, I get to see Lily and Millie tonight because I haven't seen them all week. And it's just a bit nicer, because then you're not always seeing the same people.
Is that because you're all different schools, or is it because different ages?
Me and Millie go to the same school, but we're not in the same age group.
So it's nice having that mixture. But, okay, I'm going to put my dad hat on, okay? You're different ages. Why'd you get on? Because I have kids of different ages, and I struggle to get them to get along. And when you go to sort of schools, you tend to see a clique of each year, but you don't see them mix. What's different at the rugby club?
I think it's just because you've got common ground. Like when I first started playing my first season, I was like, Mum, I'm so nervous. But she was like, but you've already got a common ground in the fact if you haven't got anything to talk about, you can talk about rugby. Like you've just automatically, there's something there that you all like. So that's one thing to make conversation.
So I'm assuming Uncle got you involved in rugby?
Yep.
Who got you in rugby? What rugby?
One of my friends who were on the boys' team in my year group.
Okay.
I don't know how it started. He just sort of, I think something went on, and because I'm in quite a big group of boys at school anyway, I was all siding about. He was like, "Oh, you should try rugby." And before I first came to the club, he took me and my friend out for a couple like training sessions and such, and just showed us the basics, so we weren't going in blind. And it was a couple of weeks later, and I went to training, and that was it.
Wait yourself. Who got you into rugby?
My dad played when he was younger, and I remember he played for Bentley, and then he took me to some touch day thing, and then he took me, after that I really liked it, and he took me to a normal training session. I remember I got really angry at him because he didn't tell me I would be doing tackling.
I'm guilty of that. We had one young lady, her name was Amber, and she came to the club and she was brilliant. She was really good, but lacking confidence. And we actually told her mum agreed to tell her that she was coming to a game, she was to warm up, and then she was to help me with the water bottles. And we warmed up, and I went, team sheets, boom, 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 Amber, boom, 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 boom. And she went, what? I said, you've got to start, I'm short of players, you've got to start. And she got stuck in. She was angry at the start, but at the end of the game, she come off and she was like, Woody, I'm so glad I've done that, thank you. Were you the same afterwards? Were you thankful for the experience?
Yeah, I think if he told me I'd be doing tackling, I wouldn't have wanted to go, but I'm glad he took me anyway, because I would have not played if he didn't take me.
But like with me and Amber, he must have had confidence in what you could do.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, they thought I was like a good ear and everything, and that's what made me wanted to come back to it.
That's the thing though, is confidence is a big thing in rugby. I talk to a lot of people about, it's in your head. If you go into a tackle nervous, accidents happen, and to a doubt when you were being tackled, there might have been a bit in your head that might have gone, oh, I'm going to go and put your hand out. What does rugby do? What does rugby do for your confidence? Does it have an impact, or?
I think it does have an impact on our confidence. My confidence has been boosted a lot from rugby.
But why? Because it's not like you don't rock up and they give you a little bit of water and you go, I can do this. It's not like magic juice. I was going to say Popeye, but you're too young to remember who Popeye is. But it's not a special pill they give you. So what is it? For those who may be watching this podcast, what is it? Why is it you've got confidence? What is it?
Playing as a team, like you don't want to let anyone down.
Yeah, I think you have confidence in each other as well.
Yeah.
That
what do you mean?
You know what the others are doing, and like even if it's like scrumming or like when we're lifting in line-outs, like you trust in them, they're confident they're going to lift you up and stuff, and they're not going to drop you. And
that's another thing for parents to see a line-out. The amount of parents I've seen who do light training just absolutely want to run on with a tissue and start making sure their daughters are okay. How do you build that trust up? So that you can lift people up, because you are lifting somebody up in the air.
I think because we were like younger, not doing line-outs, and we first started playing rugby all together, they're like, I've played with her long enough, like within the scrums and everything, to trust her to like lift me in the air and everything.
And you've just already got a relationship with each other, and you know each other, and you know each other, like what they're like and things like that.
So do you feel having the game the way it's structured, where every year or two there's an extra bit added on, do you think that is a good thing then, because you've already built that trust and sort of those skills up, or would you sooner just be given all of it at your age and just go for it? What's your view of somebody who plays the game?
I think it's good they build it up, because then you build up trust with each other, and then like you're more confident to do like the line-outs and the scrums when you go into under 14s and everything.
Yeah, because even when we had the cluster, we had a cluster at one point, and even in the scrums, I think it was just carnage, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
it's just, you don't know them like you do your other teammates.
Yeah, we didn't get enough training of them and everything, and then like the line-outs were a bit messy as well, because like we didn't understand each other's calls or how each other lifts or jumps or anything. So it didn't really work out that well because we didn't get enough time together.
Yeah, I know clusters can be positive and can be sort of quite problematic, can't they? So, how have you, as a club, then come from needing to be in a cluster to being where you are now? Well, how have you recruited? What have you done?
We have rugby fun days, so basically Brett not shouting day. It's nice.
Brett being on a good mood day.
Yeah, it's not like intense training. It's just like chuck a ball about a bit, and you try and bring a friend.
So obviously, people see rugby as all the tackles and so on. And you said obviously at the fun day, you kind of, bring it back a little bit. So if a girl was to come to your rugby club for the next fun day, what are they going to have? What should they expect? Because I think there's still a worry for a new player that they're going to rock up and you're going to expect me to know what a line-out is, what a ruck is, what a maul is. It's a very complicated game. You run forward and pass backward. It's not the most cleverest game in the world, is it? And us coaches, we complicate it to make ourselves look good and also to give us a job, basically. I think that's what rugby is. It's very complicated. What is, when you say you sort of bring it back a little bit, what does that look like? What am I expecting if I come to your rugby club to a fun day?
We just do all the basic, like passing.
We don't really do rucking either.
Yeah,
we might do touch games, but just go to the floor or just like put the ball down, scoot, chicken scratch it, next person take it, make sure you pass backwards, and there's nothing to, I don't think, other than being able to hold the ball and pass a rugby ball. I don't think there's anything too much expected out of the fun days because obviously, like you said, there's going to be people who've never even seen rugby before.
Yeah, it's all explained how to do it as well. Like, we don't just expect them to know how to do it.
When you say we explain it, who is we? Is it just Brett? Does he stand there and go, right, here's a whiteboard, that's chicken scratch? Who are we? Do you girls help?
Yeah, because all of us are still people who were in the team before are there to help show, and then the coaches do demonstrations and show how to do it before we do the thing anyway.
Well, it's like, Brett is sat over there, and from what you've told me, I'm afraid to look at him now. So if I rock up as a new girl and I'm worried about getting it wrong, what are you going to do to sort of help me, not sort of run away from Brett? You're not selling him very well, in fairness. Like I can see problems here in recruitment, but all joking aside, if I'm giving it a go and he tells me what to do, and I ain't got a clue because there's 15 aside. There's a lot of people. There's a lot going on. What do you do as players? As a player, I mean, for my players, what do you guys do to make me understand or be part of it?
Maybe explain in a different way as well, just because I think people learn differently. But explain it, maybe show them, look, this is how you do it. Or even if you take them off the pitch.
We usually walk through it a lot as well.
I think you can always ask him again and he'll still explain, this is what you need to do.
I think what's important, though, as you said there, is people learn differently. If people learn different, if people are different, a team sport can be quite a strange thing. Why do you think rugby is, or do you think rugby is good for different people coming together? Do you think rugby, is for a certain type of person?
No, because I think the positions are made for different people anyway. Even if you can't really have the same person playing every single position because it just wouldn't work. You can't have 15 props on the pitch because it'd just be carnage.
You see 15 props on a pitch is my kind of rugby. Reduce the pitch down a little bit, so there's not as much running. I could play that sort of game, Do you feel as girls pressure to fit into the stereotypes, or does rugby allow you to be you?
We're just ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah, and even if you are changing size or shape, there's always somewhere for you to go.
Yeah.
Whether you're getting stronger or you're getting fast, there's a range for you to go.
Every season they change the position.
Yeah, Like everyone's changing constantly, even throughout the season. Sometimes everyone's having a switch up between where they're playing.
Do you know what I love about what you just said? You spoke about changing of sizes. You didn't speak about putting weight on or losing weight, which is often what people think. You were actually really positive about strength, power. You know, I often feel those words don't get used by you girls. Why did you choose those words?
It's just offensive, you know, if you say someone's fat.
One, yeah, and two, it's just, I think a lot of people as well. I think when people say, "Oh, girls rugby," they think you're these big, beefy, like tomboys, and it's like, no, like a lot of us are really girly as well. Like they're Lily in their parties and their dresses.
Well, that must be a nice compliment to get from your teammates. And it's good the fact that you've discussed about being girly. And I think it's a really, really good way to end the podcast on a positive note that girls play rugby, all shapes, all sizes, doesn't matter who you are. So that's it for Everywhere's Woody. Keep an eye out on our social media for the next episode.